Hey beautifuls! Today I am doing something really exciting. I know I say that every video, but I mean it every video.
Today I am making a new covering for our boring grey couch. I'm literally so excited, man.
Now I've never sewn anything like this before. I'm not really acquainted with any of these shapes, but my plan of attack is basically I'm going to take all of the couch covering off the couch, make patterns from this fabric, get a new fabrication and cut out all of the pattern pieces and just try my best to put it together. I think the couch cushions should be the most straightforward, and there are plenty of tutorials on how to do that sort of sewing online. It's just the rest of the couch that I'm kind of uncertain about, but hey, we'll figure it out. It should also be noted that Elijah and I selected a couch with the intention of recovering it, so we were really looking for something that had a covering that could be taken off the couch, because some couches have coverings that are really on there. I have lots of ideas, guys. I've been thinking, should it be patchwork? Should it be crazy patchwork, like colors everywhere? Or should I do a monochromatic patchwork? Or should I do patchwork that has some sort of print to it, like a checkered patchwork, or more of like a quilter's pattern? Then I've also just been thinking, maybe I should just get one classic fabric, man. Keep it simple. And ultimately, I haven't figured it out yet. I would also really like the couch covering to complement our two little cushion covers that we got from IKEA, because I think they're so cute. I think the main thing that I really, truly want, my heart of heart's desire, is I would love a big ruffle on the bottom of the couch. I'm so sad that ruffled couches went out of style because I just think they're so whimsical and cute, and that is a preference and a priority. It'd also be great if I could find a fabric that isn't too loosely woven or lightweight, because I think that will lend itself to some stretching and wear and tear over time. In saying that, the fabric also needs to be kind of comfortable because you're sitting on it. So there's a few things to think about. Anyway, as you can tell, I have lots of ideas about this project, which is why I've been so excited to be organizing all of my inspirations, my ideas, my concepts on my favorite organizing tool of all time and the sponsor of today's video, and that is Milanote. Milanote is a tool for organizing your creative projects. It's an online canvas designed to help you plan, brainstorm, and collaborate. As you can probably tell, I've been using Milanote to help me plan my couch project and just to get all of my ideas out and in a format that I can see, visualize, and understand. The reason that I love Milanote so much is that it is genuinely so easy to use. I am not a natural when it comes to technology, but genuinely my first time using Milanote, it just clicked, and I feel like we've been best friends ever since. I can plan my projects effortlessly, compiling all of my inspiration pictures, references, notes, links, and to-do lists all in the same place. It's perfect for creatives like myself because it allows you to organize your ideas visually in a way that feels intuitive and makes sense to you. Now this here is my main board for the couch project, and you can see all of my brainstorming at work. I have different couch coverings that I love, some pattern ideas that I thought would be interesting and worth incorporating, some more colorful and patchworky concepts. There's also a video tutorial on how to create cushion covers, which I will desperately be needing. There's a subboard all about textiles I'm considering working with for the couch, and also links to some of those fabric stores. And oh my goodness, one of my favorite things to do on Milanote is adding a to-do list. It helps me break my project down into bites, and I feel like I just have more clarity and direction with how to progress with my project. And also I just love checking something off a to-do list, because who doesn't? It's super quick and easy to add images from various places online using the Milanote web clipper. You can save the images and links directly to the boards, making the whole process efficient and delightful, in my opinion. Here is my fabric subboard, which has links to all of my favorite fabrics that I'm considering purchasing for this project. I was able to effortlessly add links to each website into the board, which makes it really lovely to see all the fabrics all together, and I feel like it's helpful in making a final decision on which fabric to choose. Now, I've been using Milanote for the better part of a year now to basically plan my entire life. Elijah and I used it to plan our entire wedding. We used it to plan our honeymoon. I planned my whole entire wedding dress project on there, and also like an engagement celebration dress. And I'm just constantly using it for my creative projects. I just feel like it's such an enjoyable and accessible tool for organizing and planning, and I especially find it so practical that you can add links in and that you can share it with others so that you can collaborate in real time. For example, I wanted to get approval for my couch concept from my husband Elijah, so I shared my board with him so he could leave me some feedback, and also he could add some ideas into the mix because it's his couch too. Now, if you don't know where to get started with your board, Millinote has you covered. There are over 100 built-in templates available for every creative project. Whether you're a fashion designer, artist, or sewist like me, Millinote makes starting your new project easy. I can't express how enjoyable it is to plan with Millinote. It just makes curating my thoughts, inspiration points, and plans an absolute breeze. Finally, Millinote is available for free with no time limit, so sign up for a free Millinote account using the link in the description box of this video. If you enjoy using Millinote, I would love to hear about it in the comments. What are you planning? What are you organizing? How is it going? Let me know. And thank you so much to Millinote for sponsoring this video. Let's cover this couch. Ka-chow! Okay, I'm back from Spotlight. I have some materials for my project. A lot of our couch covering right now is secured with hook and loop, so I've got heaps of hook and loop here. It's about 6 meters, so hopefully that's enough to get me across the line. And I have some zippers for the couch cushions. I have 2 that are 61 centimeters, and then I have 1 continuous zipper that's 2 meters in length. So I'll chop that into 2 1 meter zippers. Does that make sense? I've never bought a continuous zipper before. It's kind of weird. Oh, and the most exciting part. I have decided to go with one single fabric, and it is this cotton canvas. Oh my goodness. It's a natural creamy colored base with these yellow and pink roses, and the print is actually cross stitch. It's not actually cross stitch, it's just the appearance of cross stitching. I'm obsessed. I wonder if it will look good with my cushions. Let's see. I know this is kind of a bolder pattern, but once I saw it, I just fell in love with it. It couldn't be helped. It's also a great fabrication. It's a nice thickly woven cotton canvas, so it's going to be really durable. Aww, bit busy, but kind of cute. Kind of cute. It's definitely giving like vintage vibes. I think it's gonna be really cool though. I need to stop procrastinating now and just do this. I would love to start right now. I'm just sort of wondering if I should pre-wash the fabric to prevent any shrinkage. I just about always pre-wash any fabric. It's just that I've got 12 meters of this. It's raining today. I don't know if it's meant to go on the dryer, and it's also raining for the next few days. And I want to make my couch coverings now. It would be disappointing for it to shrink in the future though, so we'll see. I think I should wash it and somehow hang up 12 meters of my fabric to dry, and hopefully it dries. I just googled, an untreated cotton canvas is very prone to shrinking, they say. Annoying. That's okay, that's okay. I'm gonna stop being a whiny baby. It's okay. Wow, that's a lot of fabric. I hope it's enough. Oh my goodness. That's an awful lot of fabric to put in the wash. I think I should probably split it up. I just hate to cut it in half in case I need. Oh, I think it's fine. I think it will be alright. Alright, that should fit in a bit better now. And in the meantime, I'm going to try roughly to figure out what this covering looks like and how I'm going to, I guess, make a pattern. Yeah, I guess I only need to take off one of these. Yeah, that makes sense. Can I just say how much I prefer feathered cushions over anything else? They're so much more comfortable. They just sort of compress. Huge fan. Huge feather fan over here. Okay. It wouldn't be such a big problem if it shrunk. It wouldn't be such a big problem if I never was going to wash my couch covers, but it's just that it's such a removable cover. I love the idea of being able to throw it in the wash. Because, I mean, stuff gets on couches, man. Well, most of this cover is all Velcroed on. It's pretty cool, actually. Okay, this is gonna be alright, I think. Whoa. Okay, I can make that. I think while I'm waiting for my fabric to wash and dry, I'm gonna make a hot chocolate, and then I'm just gonna watch videos of people making couch covers and see if I can just download that into my brain. Do you want to know my favorite hot chocolate recipe? Let me show you. On our honeymoon, Elijah started making hot chocolates for me, and I became critically obsessed. I don't know what's going on, but I just need to have one every single day. So it's time for my hot chocolate. It's really easy to make. You only need 3 ingredients. One of them is your milk of choice. I like almond milk. It has a little bit of sweetness to it. Very, very good. Then you need some chocolate melts. These can be like the baking chocolate from the store or whatever chocolate you like that melts really good. Marshmallow. I think it adds a lot. I accidentally already did this part off camera, but you fill your mug all the way up to the level that you want, the amount of hot chocolate you want to consume, and pour it into your saucepan. Oh, there was more in there. And then, oh, I need a flexible spatula. When you can't find your flexible spatula, what? Oh, it was in the dishwasher because Elijah uses it every single day to make me hot chocolate, so. Thanks, lunch. Okay, so the milk is in the saucepan, and then the game that Elijah and I have been playing is how little chocolate can we put in the hot chocolate and it still tastes good. I think roughly the sweet spot is 5 chocolate buttons. 5 chocolate buttons. And then they go in the saucepan. Okay, now is the really, really challenging part where you just have to try and not eat one of these chocolate buttons while you're preparing. It makes the hot chocolate taste less good. Trust us. Trust me and Elijah. From experience, we know. Let me bring you in so you can see the action. So you just put the stove on like a medium heat and then you melt the chocolate. It's pretty easy, guys. But try not to get the milk going to a boil because Elijah says it doesn't taste as good if it boils. I personally don't taste the difference, but that's just me. Elijah is the chef. I am just the chef's wife. When you're a sewing YouTuber, but now you're also making your hot chocolate on YouTube. Elijah assures me that this hot chocolate is not even bad for you because it's only like 5 chocolate buttons. It's barely any chocolate. It's basically a glass of hot milk, but it tastes amazing. And basically you just need to stir it until the milk starts to smoke, steam, and then you're done. And hopefully your chocolate's melted by then. Oops, mine boiled. It'll be fine. Now Elijah and I have 4 different colors of the Le Creuset mugs and they are so lovely, but each feels like they have a different role. We have red, we have pink, light blue, green. Blue and green are definitely tea mugs. Red is without a doubt the hot chocolate mug. It's just the right color. I can't have my hot chocolate in a different colored mug. So there you go. And voila, it's done. And the critical final touch. 2 marshmallows. Maybe 3 marshmallows. That is Elijah's hot chocolate that I like to have every single day. Now it's time to study couch cushion making. Let me know if you make that hot chocolate, guys. I hope you like it. I'm gonna link the tutorial that I'm watching right now because it's actually amazing. I think that making a couch cushion cover is not nearly as hard as I thought it would be. They've made this look very approachable. Do I like hot chocolate or do I like melted marshmallows? Guess we'll never know. Also, I put the fabric in the dryer, so fingers crossed that's okay. It's just getting 12 meters to dry when there's like 3 days of rain. I'm never gonna do this couch, man. At least if it shrinks now, I'll just have less fabric. But I can still work with that. I just don't want it to shrink later, you know? Should be fine, maybe, hopefully. Très bien. Okay, it's the next day. Wonderful news, guys. All of the fabric dried nicely overnight. Some of it I put in the dryer, some of it I left to air dry, and it's all ready to go. Huge win. There is nothing left to do but start. I think I want to start with the smallest cushion because that's the least amount of fabric that I can mess up if it goes wrong. Then after that, we'll do the bigger cushion. Then after that, I will tackle this weird couch-shaped fabric. Let's rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. Just have to tick off another day. Almost my birthday. Love crayons. Very underrated art supply. Enough silly business. On the tutorial I watched, it kind of just looked like they sewed one long rectangle all the way around the edge. Well, there was one rectangle for the zip and then the rest of the edge was just a long rectangle. This looks not like that. It has seams, so maybe I'll just copy this to be smart. Maybe it adds a little bit of shape having the seam in the corner. Maybe. Well, I cut out all of the rectangles and strips that I think I need to make this cushion cover, but because I have no idea how to do this, I think I'm gonna just try and do my first one, and if it works, I'll explain what I did for the second one. It's because I'm really uncertain right now. Wish me luck. I just finished my first cushion cover. This is definitely one of those situations where it's like, I really hope this fits because I just don't even know what I just did. The good news is that construction-wise, I made a cushion cover. Like, it's very much so the right shape and the zipper works. So like, we're close. Okay, well the cushion's in. That's a good sign, I guess. Oh my goodness! Okay. I want to get ahead of myself. What? Oh my goodness, everybody! I did it! It's good! Okay. It's definitely like, it's a little bit big on the corners, I think. Ever so slightly, but I don't think that's like the worst thing in the world. Or I'm so sorry, there's a tiny bit of extra. I think that's okay. Hey, not bad. Not bad. I'll just repeat. I will repeat. The thing that I'm really glad that I remembered to do was make sure that the roses were facing upwards and the zipper was on the bottom. I had a moment where I was putting the zipper in and I was like, are the roses upwards? Which was basically my only smart thought in that whole production line, because every single pattern piece that I cut out, I didn't add seam allowance, except for the big rectangles. I don't know what was going on. Every single time I went to sew it, I was like, no seam allowance again? Ay. All right, let me show you how I did that. Right, so here's my cushion pattern breakdown. The cushion is made up of two same measurements. I measured length, I measured height, and then I added seam allowance. The sides of the cushion are made up by 4 smaller rectangles. You could just use one really long rectangle and then one rectangle for the zip. That would be fine. I was just following the cushion that we already owned, which for some reason had 4 separate panels. So these short edges are the same. Measured the width, measured the length, added seam allowance, repeat for the other side. Guess what I did for this panel? Measured the length, measured the width, added seam allowance. Now the only tricky part of the cushion is this panel here, which has a zip. Oh yeah! So what I did for this guy was I had 2 separate small rectangles that created a rectangle the same dimensions as this. Does that make sense? So for example, this is my long panel. It is 31.5 inches long and 5 inches wide. And these 2 rectangles are for my zip panel. They're 31.5 inches long and 3 inches wide each. You might be like, 3 inches times 2 equals 6 inches. Yes, except I needed to add extra seam allowance because I'm sewing the middle together and then the outsides. Does that make sense? Does this make sense? Anyway, once I cut out all of my rectangles, I overlocked every single edge of every single rectangle. After that, I pieced together my zipper panel. I lined up my long zipper panels right sides together, and then I placed my zipper right smack bang in the middle, and I did little markings on either side of that zipper. So basically at the top and the bottom, on either side of those markings, I did a regular stitch, a permanent stitch, and then in the middle of the markings, I did a basting stitch. Then I stitched my zipper to the seam allowance all the way around all 4 edges. I removed the basting stitch, which then let my zipper, be free in the world and zip things. And that's how I did the zipper panel. Hope I didn't miss anything there. If you want to watch a specific tutorial on how to put a zipper in just like this one, I will link the video tutorial that I used to learn how to do this. It's much better than this video. After I did my zipper panel, I just combined all of the panels together, except leaving one edge completely unsewn. So it was a nice long rectangle, and it should go side, long, side, long. Then I sewed that long skinny rectangle to my big pillow rectangle. I just sewed straight along all of the edges, and when I got to the corners, I did a little bit of a curve, and I trimmed into the corner of the top piece of my fabric, and that way I could sort of pivot the fabric around to get into a rectangular shape. I didn't do a perfect job, but whatever. When I got to the end of the whole strip, I joined those rectangles up, and then I just repeated that whole process, joining the strip right sides together with the other big rectangle. And you can use the zipper to turn it right sides out. And an unnecessary step that I did, which I think is actually really lovely, is I pressed all of the seam allowances into the short, skinny rectangular edge, and I top stitched them down. so it lays nice and neat and flat. And it has this little detail, which I think is quite cute. And that's how to make a couch cushion cover. So now that I've done my 2 small cushion covers, I'm going to do my 2 big cushion covers using the exact same process. And then we can reconvene when it is time to tackle this extremely weirdly shaped couch cover section. Okay. Also, just because I remembered, you guys have been saying we would love to see Elijah's finished bakes. I keep showing him baking stuff, but never the finished result. I'm sorry. Next time he bakes something, I will remember to show you. I will try to remember. Well, I think I might actually try and tackle this portion of the couch next, just because it does have some larger pieces of fabric that are required, and I don't want to run out of fabric. So yeah, I think I should do the biggest pieces first, and then I can do my remaining couch cushions last. I think my approach is just going to be the same. I'm just going to take this off and try and recreate every single panel, and then just attempt to put it together. This is such a good example of if there's a will, there's a way. That's basically my life motto. I don't know how to do this, but I'm gonna make myself know how to do it soon. All of this part here is just Velcroed down. It's such an interesting attachment. I'm having hopes that this is going to be not too challenging. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird shape. Okay. Also, I know I took that off yesterday, but we put the couch back together so we could watch TV last night and eat dinner on the couch. Like absolute losers. Ow. Ow. Something that's really important to me about this couch cover are the flowers facing the right directions. I'm not sure if it's going to be possible every pattern piece, but I'm just gonna do my best. Oh, I should have marked where the ruffle would go. Well, I just actually thought that through, and I realized that if I'm measuring these panels, the easiest way to get them in isolation, I think, is just for it to be on the couch. So it's back on. And I'm going to mark where I want the ruffle to sit because that just makes my life a bit easier. I think the ruffle starts like here, and then I think it carries on to the side. I just think it looks a bit silly if it's not all 4 sides, right? I wonder if I should put it on the back of the couch. So then in theory, like for the side pattern piece, I would just need this portion here, and then the ruffle will make up the rest of it. I think ruffles go all the way around. Back, side, side, front. I looked it up. I am literally just gonna take this one section at a time. Before I did any sewing or construction, I literally just cut out every single panel and then I labeled them all so I wouldn't get them confused, and then I was happy to begin this weird, confusing process. So what this is just checking that it's the right direction. See mine? Oh, great. That's really great. That is really great. Okay. I'm not sure if you can see, but there's this really oddly shaped semicircle, triangular sort of piece, and I am just going to put my calico over it, roughly trace it, and just try and make a little pattern piece for it. That's just what we're doing. That looks pretty good. 1/2 inch seam allowance. The thing that I keep forgetting to do is to overlock the edges of my fabric before I sew everything together, because once you sew it together, it's just these weird shapes and they just need to be finished properly first. Hey, check that out. Kind of good. Kind of all right. Sorry, I think the lighting is kind of crazy in here, but we're going to persist. I think the next panel that I want to attach is this panel here. There's no rhyme or reason, guys. We're just vibing. That went pretty good, except I actually ended up attaching the arm section, and I forgot to remember that the arm actually extends down here. So I'm going to unpick. I just needed to go down to here, and then the rest of the chair will be ruffled. I also have a seam line here, which I am not happy about. It's too visible, so I'll unpick. But I'm glad to know that the technical aspect of what I just did works. I can't believe what I did just then actually worked, but I have this really long strip. It's a 5.5-inch wide strip. And what I've done is I sewed it all the way up this edge here, then all the way along this edge, attach it to the little weird triangle semicircle thing, and all the way down the back of the couch. And that works. I absolutely stumbled my way through the end of this project. I had no vision of how each piece would connect, but I simply took it step by step and just connected each panel to each panel until it started to form the couch covering. I think if you just take really good measurements and remember to add seam allowance and then just take it step by step, it comes together. Surprisingly, it was definitely a daunting process, but overall, it was okay. The couch is done! I am so excited it's finished. It was so weird to do all of this process. I can't say I enjoyed any single portion of it, but now that it's done, I think it is delightful. I ended up absolutely wrestling this through the machine last night. I am so glad for this project that I had an industrial because it was kind of a lot of fabric, especially with the frill, but no regrets. I think it's very empowering to be able to sew random things like this for your home. It's nice to think, I have a boring couch, I would like to fix it, and then to be able to fix it is cool. I think everybody should sew for this reason, that they can make their own washcloths, pillow covers, mend stuff, make your couch fun. I don't know, it's very exciting. In full disclosure, just so that you know, I spent so much money on this project. This couch took literally 19 meters of fabric. Luckily, my fabric was on sale. It was $30 full price. I paid $18 a meter for it. So that is 18 times. Let me do this maths. So that's $342 just on fabric. That's crazy. I also spent money buying all of the hook and loops for the Velcro section of the couch. And, oh, the zippers cost money too. I had 4 zippers. So I think all in all, it came out to just under $400 to redo the couch, which is almost half the price of the couch. So that's kind of wild. In saying that, I don't have any regrets with the amount of money I spent on making this couch cutified. When we purchased the couch, I had it in my mind that I would probably invest some money into making it far cuter. So all in all, I'm very, very pleased. I just thought it would be fully disclosing of the cost involved in making this and the amount of fabric that I used. And truly, with my endeavors to line up all of the roses vertically, I had very, very little fabric left over. So the 19 meters was actually used, which is a lot of fabric. Anyway, that is it for the video. Thank you for hanging out with me as I redid my couch. I'm so glad that it's done because I have all sorts of other home projects that I'm just really excited to start on. As per usual, I just can't wait to get into the next thing. So stay tuned for lots more fun sewing content. If you liked the video, give it a like. Or if you want more, feel free to subscribe. And that's all from me. I hope you are going well. Can you let me know how your projects are going in the comments? I love to hear about the patterns, the progress, the ups and the downs. It's all just very lovely to hear about. So let me know how you are going, and I will see you guys in the next video.